15 vendors have been reported to have died in an accident between Micheal and Kasanda. That and more is what we come with news tonight, this evening on the 19th of June 2024. My name is Micheal Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakoni. We'll start with the look at the top stories this evening. President Yoweri Museveni has postponed his meeting with the traders. Nabweru residents demolished their houses ahead of a looming NEMA operation. 15 vendors reported dead in a horrible accident along Micheal-Kasanda Road. While clients weep as Bank of Uganda suddenly closes Mercantile Credit Bank. For joining its news tonight, and we'll start right away with what we have for you this evening. The meeting between President Yoweri Museveni and city traders, which was scheduled to take place on the 20th of June 2024, has been postponed. This has been revealed by the leaders of the traders following a meeting they had with the president today at State House Entebbe. The chairperson, Kampala City Traders Association, Dr. Thaddeus Musoke, and Mr. John Kabanda, the chairman of the Federation of Uganda's Traders Associations, FUTA, said in a joint statement that they have agreed with the president to reschedule the meeting that was meant to take place this Thursday at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds to the 31st of July 2024, as both sides do thorough research on the subject matter so that they come up with a final resolution to end a long-standing dispute over Uganda Revenue Authority's electronic fiscal receipting and invoicing solution, commonly known as IFRIS. The president first met the traders in a general meeting at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds on the 7th of May 2024, where they raised concerns of challenges they face as they carry out their trade and business. Residents of Nabweru 2 zone, located in a NEMA gazetted area, have started demolishing their own houses and relocating their property before NEMA begins the eviction process. This action is part of the ongoing NEMA eviction operations under the Lubigi Wetland Restoration Initiative, where about 2 square miles housing over 1,000 families in Nabweru have been designated as a wetland for restoration.
Over 1,000 households in Nabweru are on the NEMA waiting list for eviction under the Lubigi Wetland Restoration Exercise.
So the blame we are putting it to the government. If they had come out to tell us that this is the place for, rather the area for NEMA, no one has ever come even to show us that the map for NEMA is here and there. So we are here in confusion.
The affected area, covering about 20 square miles, has been marked by the National Environment Management Authority as Gazette Areas for Restoration under Lubigi Wetland Restoration Initiative.
NEMA police officers coming around here, but they were not telling us anything. So we don't know what next.
In an effort to save some of the property, the affected residents of Nabweru 2 have begun shifting their belongings and demolishing their houses voluntarily to save their property.
Our excellent President Yoweri Museveni to help us. Now we don't have the place we can live. Everything is down. The capital already we eat. We don't have a small coin. Now my thing, I get someone to help me to take my everything to help. Such money, maybe I can go back in the village, but starting a small thing I have, but I need help.
By dawn, several houses had been demolished by the owners to save property before commencement of the eviction.
Me, as some of our rentals, that we are trying to save some of the things before NEMA comes and destroys everything. Where does the government want us to go. They literally think where are we literally going, because we're literally left with nothing. When I say nothing, we are back to zero.
Heavy structures, business houses, garages, places of worship, schools and residential areas have not been spared. Unitech Garage on one side and a heavy machinery holding center on the other side are experiencing significant losses as they shift their equipment to newly rented holding centers. Properties worth millions have been destroyed, leaving several people with no clear starting point.
I am a native of Uganda by origin. My parents are all Ugandans. I'm a Ugandan too. But I'm a refugee now in my own country. Look at our homes. Our parents have taken out loans to pay for these rentals to be around.
According to the information obtained from some affected residents, Uganda Land Board had halted the collection of rental dues known as Busuru a year ago. Residents were informed by Uganda Land Board that there were pending issues to be resolved before the exercise continues.
Back. When we contacted these people for the payment of the Busuru, they said there is a program from within the government. We cannot take your money. Let us first finish up with the government, then see what next.
Although the National Environment Management Authority had given the affected residents an ultimatum of 21 days to vacate, only a few who could afford to relocate have already done so. Some of the residents are still contesting the time frame and manner of eviction. National Environment Management Authority has continued to issue notices to all those residing in areas mapped out as Gazette wetlands for eviction. The Lubigi wetland restoration exercise will continue this week in the areas of Nabweru and Kawempe. Susan Naung and Stephen Kalisha reporting for ABC TV.
Leader of the opposition in Parliament, Joel Senyonyi, has accused government of double standards regarding the Lubigi swamp eviction. Senyonyi cited that there are settlements in the swamp, including fuel stations, that have not been demolished, leaving the affected persons questioning the eviction procedure. Regarding the recent eviction at Lubigi swamp, the Thursday morning session at Parliament raised concerns about the timing of the activity. Speaker Anita Among first criticized the manner in which the leader of opposition and some members of parliament were treated while conducting an oversight role at the swamp.
As you have mentioned, Right Honourable Speaker, I think that government should respond to a couple of issues. One, and as you have rightly said, people settle in an area for years. I met old people. There's a man who says he's been there for over 40 years. People have constructed huge structures and government is watching and does nothing about it. And they settle there for years. And then you wake up now. Why? Help us understand. Was government sleeping on the job and now all of a sudden has woken up? Or were they waiting in a corner and saying, okay, you construct your structures, spend all your money, get bank loans and spend all your money, then we come and demolish? Why are we operating this way? It's important that government responds to that. Number two, Right Honourable Speaker, these people are concerned about the double standards. Right in the middle of that area is a police station. Everything around it has been demolished, except the police station. And so the people are saying, why? Right in the middle of that area is a fuel station. And so they are bothered. They are thinking, why the double standards? They are saying, some actually settled in that area before the police station was built, before the fuel station. And so they are trying to understand why the double standards. Government needs to engage the citizens to help them understand.
Much as we are not supposed to interfere with the enforcement bodies of NEMA, but by the time somebody starts construction, somebody settles in a place for years, and NEMA is not getting to know that this is a gazetted area for NEMA, then there's a problem.
The Uganda People's Defence Forces, UPDF, has announced the recruitment of professionals into the army, including scientists, starting on the 3rd of July this very year, 2024. Applicants should be aged 18 to 28, with scientists needing at least one principal pass in chemistry, mathematics, physics, or geography. The UPDF spokesperson, Brigadier General Felix Kulaije, says that the applications should be submitted online.
We are going to recruit more Ugandans into the UPDF. As you are aware, we have been undertaking a process of recruitment of senior four leavers. That recruitment is about to end. This time round, we are going to recruit professionals. The professionals we are looking for are engineers, diploma holders in engineering, masons, electricians, painters, specialized fabricators, carpenters, heavy engineering equipment operators, heavy engineering equipment mechanics. In addition to those, we are going to recruit scientists, senior six leavers that have done the following combinations: PEM, PCM, BCM, and the MEG. These should have at least one principal pass in either chemistry, mathematics, or physics, and two subsidiaries. The application period will be 14 days. It will start on the 3rd of July and end, and end on the 10th of July. That will include the sorting of applications, which starts on the 4th and ends on 10th July. So by 3rd of July, applications should have been submitted on the UPDF website, not offices of the RDC's website of the UPDF. So the entire application is online. The successful applicants who have succeeded the screening exercise will report for screening in Bombo, and this screening exercise will end on 20th of July.
Brigadier General Felix Kulaija there highlighting about the recruitment for the UPDF that starts in July. 30 former ADF fighters are set to be reintegrated into their respective societies after receiving hands-on skills to help them start a life outside combat. This group includes children under 18 who were abducted and radicalized. During the reunification process, they have been granted amnesty certificates as forgiveness for their involvement in rebel activities.
The UPDF has unveiled the third cohort of 30 rehabilitated former Allied Defense Forces personnel. They will be reunited with their families with the help of Bridgeway Foundation, an NGO working with the UPDF, and an MOU to resettle, reintegrate and rehabilitate former combatants.
There are people who are captured by our forces in DRC under the Operation Shuja, by the joint forces. Some are brought this way where Bridgeway Foundation has a rehabilitation center, and others in Congo, especially in Beni, where they have also a sub-office.
The group comprises of both Ugandans and non-Ugandans who will be returned to their respective destinations.
18 years, they are 9. 11 years to 17 years, they are 12. And those below 10 years are 9.
The former fighters and captives demonstrated recruitment methods, revealing they were often enticed right from places of worship by people they knew who promised them free education, attracting them into a journey they were unaware of. According to Bridgeway Foundation coordinator Tumweba Zenua, more people are recruited through deception rather than radicalization, where some join voluntarily.
Are cases where the whole family is being taken by people in authority, either a father or a mother. And these, you see, they join in big numbers. If you see a father taking a wife or wives and children, 3 or 4. So that's a big number joining at once.
These former fighters have successfully reformed and received training in hands-on skills to enable them to start small-scale businesses as they reintegrate back into society.
We support them by, first of all, the young ones going back to school. Those who are adolescents, we take them to vocational schools where they can continue what they've started learning. And we have a number of clients that have gone in to become plumbers or carpenters, because they want to have access to those practical skills that they can translate into money. And then the other bit of livelihood has to do with those who are mature, people who are 18 and above and want to begin a business. We have some small support that we work with.
Draco Moses, the Principal Public Relations Officer for the Amnesty Commission, advises that those seeking to leave rebellion should report to the UPDF and police to seek amnesty.
This part, another one is through the LC system. We have local government executives. They are about, I think, 9. It is still operating. Come through that LC system of your area, that person will bring you to Amnesty Commission.
Statistics from the Amnesty Commission reveals that 28,000 people have received amnesty, including 13,500 from the LRA, 6,500 from the West Nile Bank Front, 3,500 from the Uganda National Rescue Front 2, and over 2,500 ADF militants.
The rehabilitated former ADF fighters have been given certificates of amnesty as a sign to show that they have been forgiven the crimes committed during rebellion.
Asking all those people who have got amnesty, who have been given amnesty certificates, not to go back to the bush, because it is given only once. They will not receive it a second time.
This cohort brings the total number of personnel who have reformed to 153 ever since the Uganda People's Defense Forces launched an offensive against the Allied Democratic Forces operating in the thickets of the Democratic Republic of Congo in 2021. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
On a tragic note, 15 market vendors, like I mentioned at the beginning of the bulletin, are reported to have died in an accident between Mityana and Kasanda. Let us see what the details have.
N'abantu ba district ye Kasanda kutwaliza munegwanga kufiirwa abantu baffe abadde bagenda okukola ku makya ga leero abasuubuzi. Sofa twakafiirwa abantu 15 abakakasiddwa, abantu 12 bavuddeyo nga bajjiddwayo nga bafu. Omuntu omu afiiridde wano mu ddwaliro, abamu ku batutte mu referral e Mityana, ababiri bafudde. Sofa be bantu 15.
Territorial police in Kasanda are investigating a fatal accident that occurred today, the 19th of June, at around 1 p.m. in Namiryango village along Mityana Bukuya Road. This accident involved an Isuzu forward truck, registration number UBA 605A, silver in color, which was traveling from Mityana town to Bukuya with market vendors on board. Unfortunately, the driver that is yet to be identified lost control of the vehicle on a slope, causing it to overturn, resulting into the death of 11 people on spot. Others sustained serious injuries and have been rushed to Mityana Hospital and Bukuya Health Center for treatment. The crime of scene has been visited by our traffic officers. Bodies of the deceased persons have been conveyed to Mityana Hospital mortuary for post-mortem examination. The vehicle involved in the accident has been towed to Kasanda Police Station for further inspection. Inquiries are ongoing to determine the cause of the accident. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families of the victims. More details will be availed as inquiries continue.
A very tragic situation there, a report coming from Mityana side. Speaker of Parliament Anita Mong has condemned the habitual brutal handling of suspects by various security officers. The Speaker based her remarks on the manner of the re-arrest of MP for Gusiki County Paul Akamba after he was granted bail by the Anti-Corruption Court in Kampala. Accordingly, the Speaker has engaged various security heads to formulate harmony, especially while handling members of Parliament. Parliament has been adjourned for 1 month to, among other reasons, allow the arrested MPs return to the House respectively.
The thing I insisted to police is that if you want to arrest my member, give the summons to me. Because originally they would want to pick people anyhow. I said, give me the summons. And as I speak, and I have also said, when you bring the summons, want, not on hearsay, that Joel should be the list of 30, those kind of things. No. Tell me why exactly you want this person. And the summons, I have the summons, and as I speak now, Honorable Akamba is at CID headquarters answering charges on allegations on another case. But what we can do, let's wait and get a report from the minister.
Political party whips have presented the new leadership to sectoral committees of Parliament and their membership. Sectoral committees are departmentally related committees in accordance with Rules 187 and 188 of the Procedure of Parliament, whose composition is determined at the start of each new session. Unlike the past sessions, several committee leaders have been dropped in the new reshuffle, while tabling the position of the ruling NRM with majority slots. The government chief whip Hamson Oboa informed the House of an ongoing consultations to fill the gap of the missing names of chairpersons and their deputies to the various committees. Lydia Chomkama has the report.
In an early morning session on Wednesday, Parliament, through the various party whips, designated members to different sectoral committees of Parliament. This follows the start of the 4th session of the 11th Parliament, but this also comes at a time when the August House is on spot over corruption tendencies. Sectoral committees of Parliament have a responsibility not far from deliberating on policy matters affecting line ministries and sectors, including valuation of the respective budget estimates. The sectoral committees consists of not less than 15 members and not more than 30 members.
Keeping with the directives of
the government chief whip, Hamson Oboa, was the first to designate members, but most of the committees had no designated persons and their deputies, while others had the previous leaders dropped.
On the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs, I propose to designate the following: Honorable Wilson Kajwenge, Chairperson; Honorable Ngompek Linos, Deputy Chairperson; members, Honorable Nionshaba Alex, Honorable Ochero Norman.
Oboa informed the House of ongoing consultation process to fill the pending vacancies.
We are consulting and we shall come back on the floor and fulfill the rules of procedure of this Parliament.
Meanwhile, Parliament has rejected names of MPs Abed Bwanika and Joyce Bagala, all from the National Unity Platform, to steer leadership to the Committee on Government Assurance and Implementations as chairperson and deputy, respectively. While justifying the House position, the Speaker Anita Among reminded the opposition whip, John Baptist Nambeshe, of a past precedent that the House can deny a party position.
To redesignate
the Honorable Seungu Konzaga Joseph as chairperson, and the Honorable Naruima Betho Betty as deputy chairperson of the committee. I hereby redesignate them. Madam Speaker.
That when you brought Dr. Bedi to be a chair, it was approved by this House. Now, what they're asking you, that tell them why you're withdrawing them. Much as the rules are there, and they are saying you can withdraw anytime you feel like, it's just.
The opposition leadership accused their own of incompetence and failing to hold sittings of the Government Assurance Committee.
Party leadership, the latitude to, at any time of their tenure, to redeploy them or to withdraw them and redeploy others. That is the rule.
There's an order here.
The House that sat on Wednesday to designate members to different sector committees of Parliament, where the opposition wing used the chance to request that they redesignate some leaders of the standing committee.
We think that that's a very serious committee that has got to be active.
The two leaders have of recent kept away from the NUP party position to remove Nyendo Mukungwe, MP Mathias Mpuga, from the Parliamentary Commission after allegations of corruption tendencies, in disguise of a service award. The leader of opposition, Joel Sonyenyi, tried to convince the House of the alleged incompetency of the leaders, but in vain after the Speaker put a question and members voted against it.
I think it's important that this House appreciates multi-party democracy.
Please have it.
Member of Parliament Amos Kankunda maintained position of the chairperson of the Finance Committee.
Local government leaders under the umbrella body, the Uganda Local Governments Association, have asked government to buy them new vehicles so that they can effectively monitor government programs. The request was presented by Kabarole District Chairperson Richard Rabuhinga, who is also the chairperson of the association, during the opening of their third annual SDG conference. The official opening of the conference was presided over by Prime Minister Robin Nabanja at Peak Resort in Munyonyo.
While opening the conference, Prime Minister Robin Nabanja began by giving a positive outlook of Uganda's socio-economic transformation.
We are seeing unprecedented levels of growth of government investments of big magnitudes in various parts of the country and local governments due to the favorable policy and planning.
The two-day conference is running under the theme Strengthening SDG Localization and Service Delivery Mechanisms for National Development. According to Prime Minister Nabanja, this theme highlights the crucial role local government leaders play in national development.
Dear participants, the theme for this conference, Strengthening Localization and Service Delivery Mechanisms for National Development and Sustainable Development Goals Transformation, underscores the critical role of local governments in achieving sustainable development.
Kabarole District Chairperson Richard Rabuhinga, who is also the chairperson of Uganda Local Government Association, says if government indeed acknowledges their contributions to national development, then they should be given new cars to do a better job.
We talked about the vehicles for the mayors, the district chairpersons, district speakers, cows and town clerks, and we generated a very good figure, Right Honorable, of about 35 billion.
He also asked the central government to lift the ban imposed on local governments not to recruit staff.
But again, the same minister on that one of public service says, please don't recruit staff. The bulk of the money that we shall return at the end of this financial year will be money for wage. Wages provided, authority to recruit denied.
Fred Muhumuza, a renowned economist, also weighed in on the same matter.
So that information coming in from the real people who are the ground troops
is important for us to know for policy issues on how we can improve service delivery.
At the closure of this conference, a report will be released on local government service delivery and on the implementation of the Parish Development Model Program. President Yoweri Museveni is expected to be the chief guest at the closure of this event. Diano Oloin Peters, UBC News in Kampala.
The Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC, is wholly owned by the government of Uganda and was established to safeguard and promote Uganda's commercial interests in the petroleum sector. UNOC has two subsidiaries, the Uganda Refinery Holding Company, URHC, which will hold a 40% stake in the 60,000 barrel per day refinery and manage the development of Kabalega Industrial Park, and the National Pipeline Company Limited, NPC, in charge of pipelines, storage, and downstream business ventures. This subsidiary holds 15% interest in the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, ECOP. ECOP is a 1,445-kilometer long pipeline that will transport crude oil through 10 districts in Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania. UNOC is also actively engaged in crude oil exploration, development, and production activities, and its participation role includes a 15% stake in the Tilenga, Nwoya, and Bulisa, and Kingfisher Development Projects, Chikure. UNOC also holds the exploration license for Kasuruban Block in Hoima, Bulisa, and Masindi. UNOC currently owns and manages the Jinja Storage Terminal and will build a 320 million litre capacity terminal in MPG called the Kampala Storage Terminal. At UNOC, we're harnessing the potential of Uganda's petroleum resources, forging a sustainable future and preserving the natural beauty of Uganda. UNOC, your partner in Uganda's oil and gas industry.
Amanya gange nze Namtebi Sharon nga nkolera wano wennyini Saka Kirombe oba Makindye. Empangula gye nawanguddemu ssente mbadde nga nkozesa mobile money nga nsindika school fees w'omwana ku ssomero. Okutegeera nti mpangudde nze mutima neegambye nti kambalinde bamale okujja ndyoke nzikirize nti mpangudde. Kyennyinza okubagamba nti si byabafere weewaawo abafere gye bali naye ennamba eri emu yokka era bw'eba ekukubidde omanye eyo si yabafere. Mpulira bulungi nnyo era ndi musanyufu nnyo. MTN mobile money mbebaza nnyo mwebale nnyo mwebalire.
Together we're unstoppable.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers gave their babies' bodies a lot of care by applying on their skin with baby Junior jelly.
Though dried their chariots and everyone would admire their glowing skin. Fun fact, baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
Moms all over Africa love baby Junior jelly. Baby Junior's the skin. No more worries anymore. Baby Junior.
Baby Junior.
Cheers to something refreshingly different. Putting the brakes on a fast-paced world. Slowing down. Just enough to stand out. Cheers to the beer that does it differently. Brewed longer for extra refreshment. Refreshingly Club. Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
We thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has urged students, patriots and Ugandans at large to embrace adventure and maintain a healthy lifestyle to help them reach their full potential and make meaningful contributions to the country. The message was delivered in a speech read by Minister for Presidency Emily Babalanda at the pass-out ceremony of over 8,000 student patriots from 20 schools in Bamunanika who completed the one-week patriotism training at Wakatai Senior Secondary School playground.
It has been over 15 years since President Museveni directed all schools in Uganda to train students in patriotism with the aim of instilling them with the skills to love their country. The President commended the schools that have implemented this program and established patriotism clubs. He encouraged patriots to explore new opportunities, take care of themselves, and maintain a healthy lifestyle to fully develop their potential and contribute meaningfully to the country. This message was contained in the presidential speech read by Minister Babalanda at the pass-out ceremony of over 8,000 student patriots from 20 schools in Bamnanika who completed a week-long patriotism training at Wakatai SSS playground in Nabweru.
Since the launch of the Patriotism program in secondary schools and later the higher institutions of learning, a significant number of our young citizens have obtained useful knowledge on their role in safeguarding the future and prosperity of Uganda. Patriotism training is important because it teaches you to prioritize your country above self.
The President further cautioned student patriots to resist the temptations of engaging in reckless behaviors such as alcoholism, drug abuse, irresponsible sexuality, and strikes, among others. State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Moyingo, congratulated the student patriots and commended the Patriotism Secretariat for organizing the first ever training. He encouraged the patriots to utilize the skills they acquired to love their country, protect the environment, and contribute to national development.
Go and love your country. Love your country, Uganda. And loving your country, Uganda, has got to start with you. I don't know that that was emphasized. These people have done a lot, and I'm very happy with the program as it is. But I just wanted to emphasize that the love we are talking about begins with you. You are the very most important resource for this country. Very valuable. If you are wasted, Uganda will have lost gold. You are our gold. You are our mafuta.
In addition, Minister Dr. Moyingo commissioned a multi-million shilling science laboratory at Wakatai SSS, donated by the government. He encouraged students and teachers to emphasize science education as the government continues to support schools with science equipment. I'm Nafka Farida and Salon Kasvante reporting.
Andrew Bada Lee, a 17-year-old from South Korea, I beg your pardon, has been making significant strides in the world of coding, and his efforts have recently been recognized by Kololo Secondary School. Andrew has adopted IT skills and is now training high schools in coding, a valuable skill set that is increasingly important in today's digital age.
Andrew has been working with the students since last year, introducing them to coding and now focusing on digital skills. Kololo High School has a deliberate policy to expose its learners to the world of technology and digital revolution, and Andrew's efforts align perfectly with this goal.
So coding is a tool. I believe it's a tool that allows people to express their idea and creativity, to form their idea and create program that can expand their thoughts. And I believe this is a tool that allows people to extend their idea, to go beyond what they can do, that can impact people.
The students have been actively engaged in coding and have been able to come up with various projects.
Starting from that, I was able to really develop my passion for teaching students in Uganda because I saw how passionate they were. And of course, I also had skills on programming, from developing websites, developing applications, and developing even games as well. And I've also experienced with robotics, so I really wanted to inspire and give motivations to the Ugandan students.
The coding process has helped them develop critical thinking skills as they are challenged to solve problems and think deeply about how to overcome obstacles.
Well, at least what I know with this coding,
they are being subjected to critical thinking. You get a challenge, you think. Coding helps them to think deeply. There's an obstacle, you want to reach somewhere, but there's this obstacle. How do you go about it? So it engages their brain. And God gave us these brains free of charge for us to use them. So they are being actually guided to make use of the brains to solve their challenges, to solve societal problems.
The school's computer lab has been equipped with the necessary tools, and students have been guided to use their brains to solve problems and create innovative solutions.
And we managed to create a WhatsApp platform for all the students that enrolled by the time. And I also managed to get Andrew's contact, so when he left, I kept in touch with him, and he has been guiding me through a lot of things. And that's how he gave me this online course, the free Harvard online course of CS50, that I joined, and I started furthering my programming skills.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Judge Douglas Singiza alleges to have been offered a bribe from a section of Muslims in the case before him filed by the interim Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, although he declined to receive the bribe. The case before him was filed by the interim Uganda Muslim Supreme Council against the leadership at the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council led by Mufti Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaje. However, the complainants also accused Judge Singiza for being partial.
The case was filed by the interim Uganda Muslim Supreme Council against Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, where the complainants are challenging the leadership of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, led by the Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaje. Although the case was pending ruling at Jinja High Court before Judge Farid Abukirwa, it was recalled by the principal judge, Dr. Flavian Zeija, and later allocated to Judge Douglas Singiza in Kampala. This prompted the complainants to file a case before Judge Douglas Singiza, asking him to recuse himself from this case on allegations of being impartial. Wednesday, when the case resumed for hearing, the complainants, through their legal team, led by Luyimbazi Nalukola, raised preliminary objections about the jurisdiction of High Court in Kampala to handle their case.
We don't even need to plead that. It's a point of law.
That is you. That is you. For me,
that is law, my lord.
I'm guiding you.
The complainants also raised the issue of the presiding judge being biased, compelling Judge Douglas Singiza recall the complainants to highlight to court about their concerns.
Tugenda kubanga oli muganda wo mulamuzi ng'agenda kutuuka omusango ng'agenda kugusala kati mu bbaluwa ya principal judge eyo eringange yali ekulagiranga kuwanga ekkubo ly'ogenda okukwata
gwe n'okkiriza okukwata fayiro ya muyizi munno okugikolako siwe ekyo kiresa abasiraamu basiba amativu era ne babeera n'okubuusabuusa
oli munywani wa Mubaje kandi nyo niko nahulira nitwenda mazima hata abantu bakuyire mu bwesije kale.
Later, Judge Douglas Singiza replied to the raised issues.
As we go on, we shall not tolerate certain conduct because we are dealing with something very emotional.
During the same sitting, Judge Douglas Singiza alleged having been offered a bribe from a section of Muslims, although he declined to receive it. After listening to the raised concerns, Judge Douglas Singiza ordered parties to file written submissions in all the applications, and the case resumed for mention on 27th November 2024. After court, Counsel Yimbazi Nalukola and the complainants talked to UBC TV.
Zinasonga za Musiramu, sisa church, baina church zawe. Byangenze mu byonna tebina nakwate na Basiramu tugamba nti kyatayina bwe buyinza.
Abalamuzi abasiraamu tebali yabalala. Bawo abasiraamu abalamuzi abalala bawulize ensonga ezo. Tuli bamatifu n'omusajja ayitibwa principal judge.
Our humble view, we don't have to plead on point of law. Matters to do with the jurisdiction, there are matters to do with the law.
Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
UBC News tonight. Government has gained the confidence of finding market for different products made by the youth who are under the presidential initiative on skilling the girl and boy child. Minister for Kampala Hajat Misa Kavanda is impressed with the initiative and points out that government is embarking on searching for market starting with the East African Community member states.
The presidential initiative on skilling the girl and boy child is continuing to yield fruits as more young people acquire hands-on skills.
To make logos, as you see, is it prints? As you see prints, and here we use threads like prints here. As you can see our machine.
This initiative that mostly benefits young people who did not complete or go through formal education has positively changed the lives of the beneficiaries. During the showcasing of products at Subway Center in Kampala Central Division, the beneficiaries testified to how the presidential initiative on skilling the girl-boy child has impacted their lives. Agnes Chichoncho, now a finalist in bakery and cookery, recalled how she had lost hope since she was chased away from home after conceiving at an early age of 16.
Nembanga, I'm helpless. Sina chendi, sina chemanyi. Because by then I was in senior one, ngana kayingira senior one. You know that age, I was at the movie together. So, nembona, webangoba, echalonga wochimanyi, saayagala kusigala, nabakwawo eyansanga kozi natusula eyo echayo chaffe kiri Kabale, nze banzaala Kabale. So nengamba omuntu eyanyamba nampa emitwalo ena neninya bbaasi naye nejje nali nzija nga siinayo weewaffe nga siinayo omuntu yenna gwe mmanyi.
Another testimony is from Angela Kasule, who is earning a living from her skill of weaving handbags.
Okwebaza okuviira ddala waggulu president waffe jjajja waffe tumwebaza nnyo okututeerawo emisomo gino, tumwebaza nnyo, tumwebaliza ddala okusinziira nze nga bwe nali covid yatta emirimu gyange weewaawo nali nkozesebwa naye bakama bange baddayo ne baba nga tebasobola kukola kikukomawo nze nkole nali nkolera mu speya kati nemba nenfuna chance eno ne bampandiika wano ne nsobola okuyiga ensawo era ensawo enziyigira nzikolera ddala ndaba bulabye ensawo enduke. I'm doing crocheting. Ndaba bulabye ensawo nenjiruka nemba nga nsobola okukola ki okugitunda nemba nga nsobola okweyimirizaawo.
Minister of Kampala Hajat Minisa Kabanda assured the beneficiaries that government will strive to search for market for products produced.
We'll have that story in our subsequent bulletin completed. The former executive director of Mulago National Referral Hospital, Dr. Nabweru Baterana, along with 7 others, have been charged and remanded to Ruzira Government Prison on charges of abuse of office and causing financial loss to government, amounting to over 6.3 billion shillings. According to the charge sheet, the accused caused this loss to the government through irregular and double payments to suppliers.
Following their arrest last week by State House Health Monitoring Unit, Dr. Nabweru Baterana and his 7 accomplices have been finally arraigned in the Anti-Corruption Court in Kampala. Those who appeared before Magistrate Ebati Asimu include former Executive Director of Mulago National Referral Hospital, Dr. Nabweru Baterana, former hospital engineer and head of engineering department, Kataha Edward, head of accounts, Nyeko Posiano, and senior accountant Mwase Charles. Others who were charged include former senior Mulago Hospital administrator Wafula Kenneth, senior procurement officers Okwera Christopher and Adaka Mchunguzi, directors and shareholders of Sectoral International Limited, Robert Wesika and Catherine Winfred Nabweru. They were charged with 19 counts, including abuse of office and causing financial loss to government.
At the offices of Sectoral International Limited, Kampala City, you used your company to irregularly invoice Mulago National Referral Hospital for Uganda shillings 1,581,545,000.
Prosecution also alleges that the accused fraudulently caused the loss of 1.5 billion Ugandan shillings by purporting to supply consumables for non-existing autocraves to Mulago National Referral Hospital. Additionally, the accused are said to have caused the multiple payment of 1.7 billion Ugandan shillings to Sectoral International Limited for the alleged relocation and installation of a multiple array of steam cooking pans from Lower Mulago to Upper Mulago, which didn't occur.
A contract that was previously awarded to the same company and paid for by Mulago National Referral Hospital under procurement reference number MHC/Works/16-17/00092.
Prosecution contends that those, among other offences, caused the loss of over 6.3 billion Ugandan shillings to government, which the officials knew would happen.
Used to receive multiple payments in the sum of Uganda shillings 774,277,860 shillings from Mulago National Referral Hospital and paid for by Mulago National Referral Hospital, having reason to believe that receiving such multiple payments for no work done would cause financial loss to the said hospital.
Prosecution informed court that inquiries into the offences against the accused are almost complete. The offences were allegedly committed between the financial years 2015-2016, 2016-2017 and 2019-2020, when Dr. Nabweru was the executive director of Mulago National Referral Hospital. Although the accused legal team intended to apply for bail,
Hey, business people of Uganda, the Ugandan National Lottery is coming. It's the perfect opportunity to boost your business. Zimba your business by becoming an authorized Uganda National Lottery agent. By paying a security deposit of just 250,000 shillings, you will receive your very own Uganda National Lottery terminal, expert training from the pros themselves, and marketing materials to skyrocket your sales. And with a generous 5% commission on every ticket sold, the potential for earnings is limitless. Don't miss out. Act now and call us toll-free at 0800 33 44 33 to see if you qualify. Join us today and Zimba your business. Ituba Uganda is regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Oh, I like to know. Stay fresh. You wanna come preach and be my get lighting. Lighting. I did make a lighting up.
Thank Thank you so much for watching. Let's now talk business. Bank of Uganda has taken control of Mercantile Credit Bank Limited, citing the lender's inability to address its undercapitalization and poor governance at the city abattoir in Kampala. This move has sparked mixed reactions from the slaughtermen and other depositors who claim losses in their businesses due to the abrupt closure. Kenneth Egesa, the Director of Communication at the Bank of Uganda, stated that arrangements are underway to reimburse depositors through the Deposit Protection Fund.
Business in the Kampala City Abattoir has come to a standstill following the unexpected closure of Mercantile Credit Bank Limited by the Bank of Uganda. The closure occurred without prior notice, leaving over 800 butchers and other depositors in distress. It is a very saddening moment that the only bank that we had has been closed off with no reason given.
We have saved our money and it has been taken. You would have warned us.
They expressed their grievances to the regulator, demanding an explanation and questioning the lack of prior notice. Ramadan Ngobi, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Finance, explains why the bank was closed.
They have had the unfortunate incidents where one of the directors, the shareholders of the bank, could not capitalize and also could not get partners. And because he had been sanctioned by other jurisdictions, and this unfortunate thing caused the bank some liquidity challenges.
Ngobi assured the public on the stability of Uganda's economy and financial systems put in place to protect the depositors.
In Uganda, we have a robust system which was put in place by the central bank to sniff out any issues. And wherever they are sniffed out, those financial institutions are dealt with. If it requires liquidation, like the Mercantile Credit Bank, which has been put under closure, it is for the benefit of the owners of the money, so that they don't lose their money.
The Deposit Protection Fund will cover protected deposits of up to Uganda shillings 10 million. Depositors exceeding 10 million Uganda shillings will be handled according to Section 105 of the Financial Institutions Act of 2004.
Starters on our side, all those whose money is 10 million and below should rest assured that we're going to have them covered. Effective Monday, 24th of this month, we will start paying off any amount up to 1 million shillings through mobile money.
Depositors have been advised to prepare all necessary documentation to prove ownership of their funds.
For this process to move smoothly and to move fast, we urge the depositors to make sure that they have their national IDs, because those will be required.
Justin Nakami in Kampala.
The 7th Annual Bankers Conference focused on navigating the future of banking and readiness to adopt to environmental, social governance, as well as sustainability and digital transformation. As Mario Nabweru reports, ESG aims at ensuring that all financial institutions conduct business in ways that protect and promote the environment and communities.
Environmental, social governance considerations continue to garner global attention across various industries, including financial services sector. Financial institutions occupy a pivotal position in addressing ESG risks because they direct capital towards transformative investments and projects that are sustainable and bring about inclusivity.
We have a framework. We came together to collaborate, and it's very important. It's not all competition all the time. At times as an industry, for the common good, for the benefit of a Ugandan, at times you have to come together and collaborate.
Banks need to come together to appreciate the fact that we are Tier 1 banks. Tier 1 banks need to have a framework specific for Tier 1 banks on how they are going to handle all the 3 E, S, and G. Tier 2 banks the same, the telcos the same. And at the same spirit, you need to see how to cascade this information to your customers. For example, as MDP, we do eco-friendly debit cards and credit cards. So if you give your customer a card, then ask yourself, how am I contributing towards ESG?
As the regulatory landscape rapidly evolves to support the accelerated shift towards a sustainable future, the call for collaboration among Uganda's financial industry has been made.
Time, in a way, is not on our side, and therefore we need to accelerate and become more agile as we do this. The impacts on our customers, the impact on our different stakeholders, the impacts on our products and services, and the impacts on the relationships that we create continue to be very important.
When you look at the social vertical, which is very important. So if you have a strategy, let's say executive committee, and in that strategy it's only men, and you don't have women, and you don't have minorities, let's say, or a diversity included in that, then you are you're not getting the full picture. Yeah, you have to get the full picture by hearing these voices, right? And then designing your strategy which is sustainable.
Ramadan Gobi, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, says a number of frameworks are in the pipeline aimed at mitigating ESG challenges in Uganda. According to various speakers at the annual Bankers Conference, embracing ESG is more than a regulatory requirement, but a strategic move towards enduring sustainability and resilience in a dynamic business environment.
Climate change has become a key point in major discussions, both locally and globally. The same applies to the just concluded annual Bankers Conference in Kampala, where issues of environmental, social, and governance took center stage. I am Marion Awori for UBC.
We now go straight to sports news tonight. Wakiso Best Vipers Sports Club that plies its trade in the Uganda Premier League has named a new head coach. Let's see it in detail.
Sabian Nikola Kavazovic has been announced by the club's president Lawrence Mulindwa as the new coach at Vipers Sports Club on a 2-year contract.
That with the arrival of Nikola, all those shortfalls are going to be sorted out. No pressure on Vipers Sports Club. We're just ambitious, but positive ambition. And we're going to work together as a team to ensure that we put Vipers where it's supposed to be. It's an abuse, an insult. And Vipers are not champions. So we have to put it where it's supposed to be.
He becomes the latest foreign tactician at the club whose proprietor has reservations about locally bred coaches.
That's why somebody talked about the Ugandan coaches. They are good, but they have to learn from this. The aspect the Ugandan coaches which is missing is the professional touch. I'm not shy to talk about it. They have the papers, they have everything, but the professionalism is not there. The management, discipline, life after the training and so on, it's not good. They're not exemplary. Players have nothing to learn from them. Most of them, not all of them, but we have that problem.
The 49-year-old is to replace Livingstone Mbabazi, who absconded from duty last season and was temporarily replaced by Richard Waswa and Fred Muhumuza. Muhumuza is retained on the technical bench that also has Jose Esdras as the physical trainer. Ali Chimera is goalkeeper coach and Kato Ibrahim is the gym instructor, while Dr. Michael Ule is the medic. The Serbian brings a rich experience of African football following stints at Johannesburg Galaxy, Botswana and Ethiopian Coffee, among other continental and global franchises.
For success, it must be perfect mix, like a salad. You know, you ask me, do I like tomato or green salad? I like to mix them because it's more quality, and I will have to do this Vipers thing. I want to accept what I have now, and I want to bring something new. So, same players that I found here, but with my personal spice. Is it going to work or not? Only God knows. But definitely it is going to be something totally new.
Kavazovic becomes the fourth Serbian to manage a Ugandan club, with Sredojovic, Milutin and Dusan Stojanovic winning trophies at Sports Club Villa. Vipers Sports Club, that finished third in the league last season, is the only privately owned club with a fully flagged stadium. It has won the local league 6 times and the Uganda Cup on 3 occasions.
Over 30 riders are expected to participate at the 2024 Mountain Dew National Motocross Championship that returns this weekend at the Busika Extreme Racing Track.
The Mountain Dew National Motocross Championship will head to Busika Extreme Park this Sunday, with over 30 riders confirming to participate in different categories, including MX1, MX2, among others. Riders look to protect the national pride against Kenyan riders who have confirmed to compete.
We are heading to this race on this weekend, 23rd. I'm prepared as much as I can be. We have been practicing seriously and no breaks off.
The new FMU Vice President in charge of motocross, Arthur Blick Jr., says the track will test the riders with new challenges they have faced before.
The Busika track is quite sandy compared to the Victoria Raceway Park track. So there are a number of advantages that and qualities that the riders pick up when they race in the Uganda Motorsports Arena track Busika. And that's one of the main reasons that round 5 will be heading to Busika. And all this is in preparation for the international races and for the actual championship. We've so far done 4 rounds of the National Motocross Championship. This Sunday we have the 5th round, and this year we're going to have 8 rounds of the National Motocross Championship.
Shell Uganda has come out to sponsor the event to a tune of 50 million Uganda shillings. The boast is to mainly sponsor the young riders who are growing in the sport.
Vivo Energy as a company, we've always been a #1 fan of motorsport in Uganda. To give you examples of the Pearl of Africa Rally and the National Rally Championship, today we are here to announce our sponsorship package to the Federation of Motorsport, but particularly for National Motocross Championship for motocross. We're offering a package of 50 million shillings, and this will go in form of product, which is Shell Advance, the motorcycle oil for these bikes, Shell V-Power, which is fuel that will be used for the bikers. Then we also have safety tape and a cash contribution as well. This is in effort to grow the sport, to grow the talent of the young and upcoming motorcycle riders, the motocross participants, to make sure that we continue to sponsor them with the right products for their bikes, which is Shell V-Power and Shell Advance, so that they can perform and compete favorably.
This weekend's event will be the 5th outing of riders this year and will equally double as the event that will be used to select the national team to represent Uganda in the FIM Africa Championships in Morocco in October. Mashomiro Victor, UBC News.
Mashomiro brings us to the end of all we had for you tonight. My name is Micheal Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakoni and the whole team. Wish you the best of the night. We will not be back here at 10 p.m. That will be Behind the Headlines taking over. Good night. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.